You're watching the Ram Pump Wizard. In today's Ram Pump video, I'm going to be helping a couple install a 1/2-inch ram pump to an abandoned commercial greenhouse. This ram pump is going to use an intake, which was my original design. I now have an updated version for sale. I'll have a link to that in the description down below. I'm also going to be using a filter bucket that removes the silt and air from the system. That's also an early prototype, and you'll see a link to the actual bucket intake as well, so keep that in mind. Alright, hope you enjoy this video of installing a ram pump. Today we're going to be installing a 1/2-inch ram pump to bring water to this storage tank so they can water their crops and hopefully not have to worry about hauling buckets. So let's go ahead and get started. There's a natural water pool right here, and we're going to use that for our initial intake. It's going to go up under this culvert tile, which goes under the road, comes over here and continues to drop. We're anticipating somewhere around 1.5 feet of drop to this little spot right over here next to this rock. And this is where the bucket's going to be for our air-free intake. So somewhere right around here. And then the water continues down. We're anticipating to get somewhere around 3 feet of head pressure. Here's a good foot of drop right here. Another foot right here. So we are anticipating the pump will rest right down in here to give our 3 feet of head pressure. So for a reference of where the pump is compared to the greenhouse is simply right up here. The screened intake is going to be a 2-inch pipe with a bunch of holes into it and then some window screen on top of that. So what I'm going to do now is just take a regular old drill and I'm going to put a whole bunch of holes in here. Having a lot of holes in the intake allows for more surface area for the water to go into. So now I'm simply going to put a 2-inch coupling on one side, and then this 2-inch to 3/4 inch adapter. And then lastly, I'm going to put a cap on this side. Now, if you had more holes in your pipe, it would probably be even better, but for the sake of time today, that's going to be sufficient. I've got some regular window screen that I'm going to wrap around this whole thing. And then I'm going to be using some regular old zip ties to hold that screen in place. And that should be sufficient for the screened intake.
When we kind of adopted this place, we noticed they had a ton of this extra PVC and supplies and things like that just kind of laying off to the side. At one point, they used a whole greenhouse off of this, and lucky for us, they kept some of this material, so we're just kind of recycling it instead of pitching it or just letting it sit here and rot. And I think that should be the length that we need. If we have 2 of these guys down there, it might be all right.
Now that the screened intake is finished, the supply line will take water to our filter bucket. I'm gonna go ahead and get these connections put together with some of this PVC cement. We have approximately 60 feet of 3/4 inch pipe, and that is what's gonna take water from the intake to the bucket. So I'm just gonna go through here and put cement on all these and get this locked down nice and tight. The drive pipe side of the ram pump has a threaded ball valve, and so I am simply going to attach this threaded adapter to this far end of the pipe here. The bucket is used between the supply line and the drive pipe to both collect silt and also provide an air-free water source for the ram pump. So what I'm gonna do with this bucket is use a hole saw, and I'm gonna be about 6 inches or halfway up this bucket, and I'm simply going to just put a hole in it. Now, I'm using a product called Unisil. It is a rubber grommet that has the perfect size hole in the middle for a 1/2-inch pipe. You can get them in any size, so I've also got the 3/4 inch as well. So I am simply going to push that into the bucket where I drilled that hole, and then the water is going to come out of here to the ram pump on the drive pipe. I'm going to flip this up, and I'm going to drill the same hole in the lid, and that's where the supply line is going to use another one of these Unisil to dump in here. And that Unisil is also going to hold the supply line in place so it won't be bouncing around. I'm going to put a few extra holes in the lid to allow water to escape. Because of the shape of this ram pump, it will tilt over if it's not locked down, or it may get washed away. So I've got a regular decking board here, and I'm going to be mounting the pump like this. And to prevent it from scooting away in the creek, I'm also going to be installing a piece of rebar through here. So I've got a bit that will put a hole in here, And that's just going to allow this piece of rebar to be hammered down into the creek to keep this whole thing from scooting about. All right, now for the pump itself, I'm going to use some of this metal plumber's tape and lock this down to this decking board. Okay, and that right there should keep this upright quite nice. Now it's time to actually get the pump installed. So I've got the intake with the screen on it. I'm just going to attach that to our supply line here. Now you may have noticed that I left all of the fittings loose, and that's because whenever this fills up with sand, you can just pull the cap off, shake out the debris, and reattach, and you're good to go. So we're gonna go ahead and get this pipe through the culvert into the place where our bucket is going to be. We're going to sink the screened intake into this little pool and place a big rock over it to hold it down. We have our supply line here in the creek, but you can see the flow rate is not a full pipe yet, which means there's some trapped air somewhere in our line. So we're going to start from the beginning and make sure there are no high spots. So there's always a downward slope. So right here may be an issue where it pops up a little bit, but our main issue is likely over here at the intake. So right here under these rocks, the pipe goes up a bit, and we're gonna go ahead and pull those off, dig some of the sediment around, and sink the pipe so it's always going downhill. Now every portion of that supply line is going downhill. There may be a small issue where we have to drill some more holes in our intake screen, but we'll see what we get down here. All of the air is now burping out of that pipe, and you can see the flow rate is quite nice. And so our bucket is not going to be this high, which is good news. So if we put our bucket right in here, that much water will be going into the bucket, and then we'll have plenty of water going into the drive pipe. To get the supply water into the bucket, we've got that uniseal here on the top, and I've got a 90-degree bend, and I'm going to just simply push down into that uniseal. The supply line is done. Now it's time to install the drive pipe. And that's our 1/2-inch pipe. We're not exactly sure how long it is, but wherever it lands up in the creek is where the ram pump's gonna be. With our bucket right here, we want the drive pipe to be as close to the ground as possible. So things like this fallen tree, we're gonna actually go under that and follow the creek down. All right, that's good. All right, we're gonna want this to be a little closer here to about right there. I'm gonna press the drive pipe into this uniseal here on the bucket. Okay, just like that. And I've got this lid here that the supply line's gonna feed into. When the bucket fills up, it's going to start shooting out of those holes that were drilled. And those are just air holes. Now, because the drive pipe is open at the other end, all the water is probably going to spill out of that before this fills up all the way. Okay, so if you will, remove the union that's next to that ball valve. That'll free up that valve from being attached to the pump. Now there is an O-ring in there, you just want to make sure not to lose that.
This one is supposed to hold to make sure it doesn't fall down.
Yep. And so now you can screw that in there. Okay, and now you can close that valve so you don't get splashed.
Right. Awesome.
So is there a good spot to put that rebar in there?
We might have some rock here, but we can give it a shot.
The delivery side is closed, which means we can build pressure and see it work. So now just press your valve down, and it probably will take 5 to 10 times to get it to cycle on its own. So what that's doing is it's filling the pressure tank with pressure. Ha! All right, so what we need to do now is run our delivery pipe. As the pressure tank reaches its max pressure, this pipe will start shaking more and more because it's hammering hard.
Right.
So if you close the drive pipe ball valve, And now open the other side over there, and you can watch it have a jet. Woo! So that was all the pressure in that tank.
Nice.
The ram pump is down creek and is actually cycling at the moment. So you can see these little spurts of water. That's how much excess we have coming into the bucket. And you can see how it cycles back and forth, going up and down. That's with each cycle of the ram pump. It has that much drop. For this install, we're going to be using a garden hose for the delivery pipe. And so we're just simply connecting a couple of 100-footers to make it all the way up to the abandoned greenhouse. Once that's tight on there, go ahead and open that delivery pipe. And the pump is going to stop, but water will start filling up that garden hose to match the level of the source. We've got a piece of 1/2-inch PVC pipe taped to a piece of bamboo to push back under the culvert so we can get the delivery pipe under the road so no cars will be driving over it. He got it. There's a small hole on the edge of the greenhouse that's being used to get the hose up into the building. We've got the garden hose delivery pipe connected, and the delivery ball valve right here is also open, which means their garden hose has leveled out with their intake. And so now she is going to press down the waste valve until it begins to cycle on its own. So what it's doing is filling up the delivery pipe, which goes up to the abandoned greenhouse. And as soon as that pipe has enough water in it to create back pressure, it will push down on the pump and cycle on its own. This could take anywhere from 1 touch to about 50, so we'll let you know whenever it starts. I'm gonna pick the hose up here to see if we've made it to this point yet. Doesn't seem like it. And just like that, we have water filling up here at the very top. Now this tiny pump can supply somewhere around 300 gallons in a day. So as you can see, it's not flowing very much, but that right there adds up real quick.
It's a good day.
Yeah. We spent a good portion of the day, but we got it done. Hope you guys enjoy water up here and turn this greenhouse from abandoned to flourishing.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It's been amazing.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video on installing a ram pump to a commercial greenhouse. Their plan is to fill a small tank inside the greenhouse and then use that to water their plants as they grow them. I'm Seth, the Ram Pump Wizard, and I'll see you in the next video.